Hi, it's Agnes, and today is a YouTube request video for Owen P. You said, can I talk about my thoughts on changing the past via meditation and law of attraction? Sure. So, there's a really great story in The Law and the Promise by Neville Goddard, where a woman who was an adult and she had incredible back pain, like so bad that she was bedridden, she couldn't work. And she thought she would use Neville Goddard's techniques to see what she could do. So she ended up going back to an incident in the past when she was a little girl and she was swinging on a swing. And she literally came off the swing and she landed badly. And then from that day on, she had incredible problems, and then, throughout her life spent, in her own words, a small fortune paying to get this particular problem fixed. So what she did was she went back into the past of that day when she was swinging on the swing, and she imagined swinging off the swing, going up, jumping off and landing firmly on her 2 feet and running to her mum and saying, hey, look what I did. So she replayed this in her mind over and over and over. And she did it for a short period. I can't remember the exact time frame. I'm actually going to put the book, The Law and the Promise, down in the description for you as a free PDF. So for those of you that want to actually go through and find that story, and there's many, many amazing stories. That was the biggest book that ever changed my life because the stories were so good and it showed you how to use imagination to correct problems into solutions. So I will put that down in the description. Going back to the woman, so she does this and imagines, like you're talking about, changing the past via imagination, and she did it, in a meditative state. So she does it, and she said she noticed within a 2-week period that the pain started to ease off, and within 2 months the pain was totally gone. And what she never was able to cure through outside means, she was able to cure internally. Because what was happening was she kept having the beliefs and the thoughts, that happened to me when I was a child, so therefore I've got an injured back and it's something I'm going to have to live with for the rest of my life. So therefore, the belief creates the 3D situation. So that is, Owen, probably the best story that I've ever seen that has a very specific event that creates a very specific now time discord or problem. So yeah, fantastic. And also I remember personally when I was feeling really unloved, I actually went back to all the men in my life and I did a meditation where I lined them all up. And what I did was I got each of them to hold my hands and to say, Agnes, just want to tell you I really, really love you. And I saw each and every single person. Started with my dad. I also did, my first partner and, subsequent significant men in my life up until that present time. Now, what happened was within like 2 days of doing that, the person I was with at the time told me that he loved me and I felt loved, but also there were other people from the past that popped up to connect with me, some of the people that were in the lineup of those men. So it was a very, very significant thing for me. I can't remember exactly, apart from being left at the airport by my mum and dad, and I was young and I didn't want to go and live with my grandparents, and I caught the plane on my own and they picked me up at the other end. That was an event, I don't actually consciously remember it, but I was told from my mum and dad that they left me at the airport and that I was really upset and that they were really upset as well. And I think that was one of the pivotal moments of me feeling unloved and then creating, all these relationships where I got reflected back, you're not loved or you're not good enough or whatever. So both of those instances, Owen, have been really significant. One, reading it in the Law and the Promise, and then applying it in my own life. So I hope that helps. But what happens is, Neville Goddard says, the past is still alive. What happens is the event obviously was a long time ago, but your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs about it are still alive. And it's like it creates a cord between that event in 1973 or 85 or whenever it was into the present moment, and you keep it alive through what you think about it today, and then it photocopies situations that mirror that to support your beliefs. And it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Yeah? So I hope that makes sense. And yeah, that's all I have to say. Now, there's one thing too. Tomorrow, for those of you that are doing the first part of the course, the 2-part course that I put up, just bring pen and paper and just load the Zoom link on, and I will see you in the actual private meeting room, the Zoom meeting room. Okay? Looking forward to seeing you, and I'll see the rest of you in the free Q&As. There's 3 this month, so I'll see some of you some of the time.